What's going on, Scorpio? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a phenomenal week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Scorpio. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. Because it's General Energy Weekly Spread. Oh, we're getting closer there, Scorpio. I kind of like that. So, I'm going to have to listen back to that one. I dig that one. But, Scorpio, two things. I completely forgot last week that I promised you to tell you about Ralph back here, and it did. It totally slipped my mind letting Sasha in and out of here. So, quick story about Ralph. I actually got him as a birthday gift from a Scorpio, and upon my opening him and checking him out, it was just like, there felt like there was stuff inside of him. Turns out there are three things inside of him, and there's no openings to get to them. So the only way to do that is to dismember him in some kind of way. And I was just like, no, I don't think I'm gonna play this 6 Scorpio game. But I thought it cracked me up, Scorpio. So I thought how like a Scorpio. But I love it though. It's fantastic. If anything, he's gonna become part of the, I don't know, as a statement. I don't even know if they watch, but as a statement, I'm gonna, oh yeah, Ralph is gonna be incorporated. And once I really kind of get things moved around here, but just there's that little side story there for you, Scorpio. And then with this weekly video, so what else I gotta tell you? With this weekly video, whenever you happen to come across this, there may be some messages in here for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Scorpio. So, Scorpio, I'm going to pull a few oracle decks from this, or just a whole couple of decks out of here. Wouldn't that be something? I'm going to pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we'll get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And in case of y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box. Down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below are some links for some other readers that I like watching. Scorpio. It's a very intuitive group. One of them actually happens to be a Scorpio, and she's I love her energy, so hopefully you'll like them as well, Scorpio. But let's go ahead and get into your first card here. Oh, it looks like we're at a fork in the road, because you got the 7th card of Capricorns here, which is the 4th row card. And with this card, this is the card of direction change, options, free will, choice, opportunity, alternatives, multiple choice, the moment of truth, crisis, possibilities, turning point, and change in circumstances. Interesting. And the energy that's coming through here is the moment of truth. And I feel like that it's the moment of truth for me, Scorpio, sounds like we're at that state of we're really about to commit to something. Like it's like this. It's like now or never. You know, it's like what is going to be the decision that you make. And some of it's like it doesn't feel like that. It's like maybe for some it's like maybe we've waited till the last possible moment, and it's just like yeah. It's like we waited to the last possible moment to see something through, and now we're at this place of just oh crap. And I feel like, Scorpio, when we get to that place of where it's like our backs are against the wall, or it feels like that we're forced into a decision, I feel like wherever you do end up going, it's one of those things where, because even if you can see on this card, there's a light path and then a darker path here. I feel like it's no matter which way you go, there's going to be light and darkness on either end. Even if you go, let's say we make a reaction, we go towards the dark first. It might suck a little bit, starting off, but then you're always going to get to a light, and at the end of that, when we find the lesson, the reason that we needed to go down that path. And the same thing with the light. We could have just been coming out of something. The light might go for a long time. It may be brief, but it just depends on where we're at in the journey. But I feel like it's the moment of truth is Ooh, I like that. It's like the moment of truth is when we realize that there's going to be growth regardless, you know, of which path, you know. And you know, Scorpio, yours is a sign that with more experience that you get through with life, you know, the more the challenge that you become more resilient as you change and adapt and you know evolve from these you know different trials that happened in your you know on your journey, because you know Scorpio placements can be they can be pretty tough sometimes. You know, I got mine's more of a generational aspect. I have Pluto and Scorpio, but you know, when you get into like that Pluto energy, Scorpio energy, they can be a bit more, you know, you're known as the, you know, the most intense sign of the zodiac. But I feel like that is, I mean, that's one of the reasons I feel like you get two rulers too, because through that change, you know, it's, hmm. And I also feel like maybe for some others, that it's like, there's this energy here of like, I'm almost getting like an energy of like maybe we've been like ignoring the not necessarily the consequences of our actions, but maybe we've not been reflecting on maybe the choices that we have made. I feel like that there is this moment of realization that kind of like an epiphany, or that's something that sort of happens. Like very interesting energy there, Scorpio. Let's get some tarot on this. Thank you. Let's see what we got here, Scorpio. Alright, so you have the Two of Wands and the Justice card in reverse here. And then you have the Eight of Wands, the Nine of Wands, and then the Seven of Swords here. And that's kind of what I was feeling like when I was talking about earlier, like the thinking about the like reflecting on our decisions, or I'm even getting honestly like an energy of like, you know, the consequences of our actions. You know, that's what's coming through here. And it feels like that if we, and I'm not sure why it's this energy of like because maybe we've just been maybe just on this point of just kind of like go for a while. I'm like, but there's something here that it's just like it's, let's say like for example, maybe we've been in this, and not that I'm saying this happened with you, Scorpio, but it's just like, you know, like maybe we've gone from like one relationship to another to another to another to another to another, and it's just like, and where you know you're in a judgment free zone here, Scorpio, but it's just like, how has that, what have we been doing? Why have we been in that energy? You know, what's been, you know, what have we been kind of like moving away from, is what I feel like with this Eight of Wands energy is coming through, that's coming through. And it's like the Seven of Swords here, you know, this can be a card of trickery and deception, but I feel like that there's some, it's like there's some truths that are getting left behind or something, you know. It's just like, it's almost like where if you see how he's taking these swords, it's like we're taking what we, yeah, like we what we want to think or that we want to feel. It's interesting energy, Scorpio, but I do feel like with the Two of Wands, it's, I'm honestly getting an energy of just like maybe even needing to kind of slow down a little bit, Scorpio, and just kind of reflecting on what's been going on here so far, because he's got just quite a bit of heat, and then this. Let me get a little bit more on this Justice card here, Scorpio. Alright, so you got the Page of Cups in reverse, and it feels like that there's been this energy of maybe even for some, like it's like ignoring how we truly feel about a situation, and now we're just having this. It's like maybe if we're afraid that we slow down, that it's like something's going to catch up with us, or just like, and I don't feel like I'm not feeling necessarily in like a karmic sense, but it's just like, justice is swift sometimes, Scorpion. And I feel like this, and this doesn't necessarily have to be you, Scorpio. This could be maybe even someone that we're dealing with, but I feel like if we do notice, and that's something to, okay, something to think about there, Scorpio. If this is someone that we may be dealing with, that might be kind of stuck in this sort of energy here, I do feel like that if we're, one, I feel like that if we're, I feel like definitely a conversation needs to be had. If this is something that we've been noticing, or that I'm not, something like that, Scorpio. But it also feels like that when this situation comes up, or if this situation, well, which like that type of stuff, if there's been whatever this energy that's going on, it usually comes to light in the end. And I just feel that it's definitely saying, what, or there's this energy here of just kind of letting the universe kind of handle that stuff here when you get this, if you get this information, or when you get this information, because no one can hide anything from you, Scorpio. That's one of your traits too, being Pluto ruled. Pluto brings the stuff from the dark to the light. So yeah, if we've been dealing maybe with some sort of deceptive energies or something along those lines, it's, you know deal with that truth what you will. And I feel like it's not spending energy to putting, maybe not to say that you would wish ill, Scorpio, but it's just like we can wish that the universe would take care of this thing. And it's like, trust that the universe is going to take care of it. You just focus on your healing, your energy and things, and I feel like that'll, that will get resolved. So all right, Scorpio, I hope that made sense. That was an interesting start there. Let's get another oracle on this. Oh, all right, more Capricorn energy. So you got the sixth card of Capricorns here, which is the bodybuilder card. And with this card, this is a card of power, strength, forceful, determined, discipline, vigor, domination, push forward, influence, leverage, mastery, resolve, intense, resistance, self-improvement, and exercise. So the energy that's coming through here, Scorpio, is power. And I almost feel like that maybe for some, there's this energy, since we're talking about that moment of truth and with the forked roads, and because there's some times where I think we can feel that we don't have any sort of control over this journey, that things just kind of happen to us all the time, and that it's just like, that we're forced from one situation to another to another. And I do feel like that, even just kind of piggybacking off that moment of truth, this could be another kind of realization here that's maybe coming to the forefront, Scorpio, where it's like, we had thought this thing, but really we do have more power in this journey than we think. It's just, it is a matter of where our thought process is, because it's, if we're staying in that resonance, of just like, of powerlessness and things along those lines, and that's the energy that we're attracting, and that's the cause. That's what the cause is, the negative this, and the effects is the being that in that miserable place. But if we switch and balance the scales, we can get things back in control. And it's like, when I talk about like being optimistic and seeing like, like, because I have a lot of Leo placements, so I'm just like, it's just natural and enthusiasm and things, even when I'm feeling kind of low. But it's that sort of like that's those sort of like affirmations and things along those lines, they can get you in a place where it's not ignoring the problem, but it's getting you to see it from a higher perspective, where it's just like, how we were saying, like, either way, either path we go down, there's going to be good, and there's going to be good, and there's going to be bad stuff that's happening down. And even then, that seems a little, there's going to be growth and there's going to be lessons, but depending on where our thoughts are at, because we could be living in, that $1 million house, more space than you know to do with, and be super miserable, and going into a small space and being the happiest, living a minimalistic life. And that's just a general thing, Scorpio. But I do feel like that there is a power shift that's coming. Capricorn deals with, like, one of the things they deal with is like authority and things, and I feel like for some it's like this truth, again, like this energy of like realizing that we are we have more like authority in our lives, and like more autonomy than we realize. Because even like someone had asked me an interesting question, where it's just like, when I was talking with when I refer to like higher self and things, just like, well, so what, you don't have any kind of control? And it's just like, oh, I absolutely do. I was like, I listen to higher self for guidance, but I have the decision. I do have the choice to not listen to higher self, and I did for a long time, and I was miserable. And then I started to, and sure, I've had lessons, but it's like the perspective has been very different since operating in that space. So, but this is something to think about there, Scorpio. But let's get some more. Let's get some tarot on this. Alright, Scorpio, so you got the King of Pentacles in reverse here. And I feel like with the King of Pentacles, if you've been feeling that you haven't been I don't know, it just feels like that we haven't been feeling stable in our decisions, or that or that we've it's like maybe the decisions that we've made, it's just like and I hope you okay. So I hope you know what I mean, Scorpio. But it feels like that it's like when we go to pursue a thing, we put our energy towards the stuff, we get this thing started, we have this whole idea of how we're gonna feel, and like the example I'm thinking about, like, let's say like the American dream, or where it's like, you got the nice house, you got all these things, and but then we're still in the state of not like, it's like materially we're stable, but it's just like, are we feeling fulfilled as well? It's like your King of Pentacles is missing that, like, that like child, like, kind of like dreams as well. Like, there's I don't know, it just feels like that there's this energy of just like, why aren't we feeling more stable, even though there's like just, and this is not to say you're in this empire energy or something like that, but it's just like that state of like, there's a need of fulfillment or something. It feels like that it's like we can't, this, like, it's out of our grasp or something along those lines. But it's because it's not the case, like, we do have a lot more control over this thing than we realize. But it's just, I do feel, because Capricorn energy, just even thinking about that, Capricorn, they have a tendency to, they can put their emotions aside when it comes to getting down to business. You know what I mean? It's an admirable trait, but it can lead to their detriment, because if you're in that energy too long, where you're neglecting that side of you, then things start to fester up. We seek this fulfillment in other things instead of tending to what the heart wants, what the gut wants. And I feel that there's Let me get a little bit more with the King of Pentacles, because there's... Let me get a little more of that, Scorpio. Thank you. Alright, so the King of Pentacles is clarified by the Five of Cups, the High Priestess, and the Hermit in reverse here, Scorpio. And I do feel like that there is a... If we're feeling powerless in any sort of sense, or just like if we're... Because it almost feels like that there's this realization or something here with the Hermit that we have everything that we have here is what we've manifested, but it doesn't feel like that there's a happiness here, or some sort of like there still is this feeling of lack with the Five of Pentacles being here. You know, there's this... And it does seem that it's... Yeah, this is a very sort of... I feel like this is a very kind of like a deep sort of like sort of question here of just like of what's within our control or what's without it, or in what's not in our control. You know, something along the lines of like how we can... Can I get one more on the High Priestess? So the High Priest is clarified by the Seven of Pentacles in reverse here, Scorpio. And you know, just how I was talking about that emotional aspect earlier, you know, maybe for some, if we haven't, you know, we got all this thing, but we still don't feel like, I don't know, it's like we have all this stuff, or we're just... I feel like there's a need to really kind of like really just pay attention to like how, again, how I was talking about with the emotions, to just there's a lot to reflect on here, Scorpion. I feel like there's something... I wish I had more words for it, Scorpio. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to explain that one, Scorpio. It just seems like that there's a need to just kind of sit down and reflect on what is within your... What does... I almost feel like what does power mean like to you, and what does control feel like mean, and... Very interesting. But let's get your last card here. Scorpio, thank you. See what your last card is. Ha! Look at you. You for the win here, Scorpio. And that's what this feels like. You got your first card here. First card, Scorpio, which is the Crystal Ball card. And with this card, this is a card of intuition, premonition, seeing clearly, discernment, perception, sixth sense, instinct, divination, future planning, ESP, past, present, future, gut reaction, and inner knowing. And this thing, Scorpio, the whole card's resonating. It's because Scorpio, you are a very, very strong intuitive. You know, with how to be able to bring things that Mars energy is amazing, and that. But I feel like this is more that kind of that Pluto aspect of you that's needing to be explored more. That there's a depth that it's needing to. There's an inner knowing or something that's trying to come into. It's like that's trying to come up to the surface here, Scorpio. Let me get some tarot on this, Scorpio, get some more details. Because it could be for some too, maybe we've been just sort of, maybe we've been going through life just sort of not, I don't know, it's like we know in our gut that something's not right, but we'll still go against it. And then it just feels like that when things are kind, now it's like that things have kind of gotten like maybe out of control or something. Then it's just like now we're trying to see who's, not necessarily point the blame, but figure out what the source of this is. And it seems like that it's, and I hope you know what I mean, Scorpio, but it's just like, because it's just like what I was saying. I've ignored my intuition and my gut in the past and I've paid for it. And that's what it feels like that it's here, where it's like we're seeing the consequences of like our actions or something like that. But that's interesting. So you got the Queen of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and then the World here, Scorpio. And with this energy here, there's that knowing, that understanding, that, because it even seems like the energies have been even trying to just be in this, Scorpio. It seems like it's been elusive or something. Like maybe we're, again, telling ourselves different things with this Seven of Swords, or I don't know, but something's coming to light here, Scorpio. And I feel that with the Ace of Wands, we can bring this, we can take this energy, that realization from the Queen of Swords here, and put that into action to change things around, to switch this Justice card where things are balanced. But it's going to be something where we have to tune into our guts, our intuition, check in with higher self, do some meditation, go buy some water, go for a hike, maybe do some working out, whatever that can help you to get into however you get into the intuitive space and really connect to the source. But there is a need to do that. I feel like, especially because water signs are just, where all signs are intuitive, water signs are, it's easier for water signs. That's just how it's easy for earth signs to manifest in this realm. Everyone has their perk, but we all need that balance. But I do feel like that there's a need, in order to understand the others, we need to understand ourselves first, and then we can get to this place of, I feel like, completion, and like and really kind of seeing things for what it is. But I do feel like that, because the world is Saturn, and is putting in that work to get to that King of Pentacles energy, to get to that state of stability again. But let's see what else you got, Scorpio. Oh, there you are. Alright, Scorpio, last little bit here. So you have the Knight of Cups, the Four of Wands, and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse here. And let's switch back over to Scorpio, because it's interesting with this Knight of Cups. He's normally like, when he's looking at this cup, it could be seeing him as like he's like scrying in the water. He's like looking to the future. We're talking about past, present, future, and talking about even just that, the High Priestess. She intuits from the, how she manifests. She's like, she'll take the past or the lessons from the past to manifest in the present to create her future. She really is very intentional with how she manifests and creates. And I feel that there is a need to almost like to invest in your that intuitive side of you, to really kind of figure out how you connect with source. And because the Four of Wands for me can be like a card of like we're at this checkpoint here, and and it's maybe it's been a while since we've checked in. You know, it's just as far as just like how things have been going and what we've been doing and how the energies, maybe just things have been going so fast. You know, like life, you know, can get a little hectic, a little out of control. But yeah, there's something here that's I feel like it's ultimately it's like these energies are trying to get you to this place where you are moving more intuitively through life, but I feel like it's something that it's going to need to be practice on, you know. And this could be maybe even something too just kind of cropped in my head. It's like maybe we're the type that kind of just like lean on like our maybe have this like natural abilities and things and just kind of you just kind of rest on your laurels there, but it's there's like it's like the energies are needing like a push or something along those lines here, Scorpio. But you know, the Nine of Pentacles, it's working towards your pre-Empress energy, or it's your pre-Empress energy, you know, getting ready to boss up here. And the Empress, she's hella intuitive. She's a culmination of all the queens. So yeah, I think there's definitely something here that's yeah, that's needing to a lot of reflection here, Scorpio. Very, very intuitive reading, but I think I'm gonna leave that there. So you also, I was about to just like wrap it up, but if anything resonated with you, Scorpio, give it a thumbs up and share this. You know, if maybe we know someone who's just been sort of, just kind of figuring things out and really just at this place of where it's interesting energy, Scorpio. But yeah, share this if you know someone who may resonate with this, and then subscribe, hit that bell button. You get notified when I release videos each week. And then I'm on this meditation app. Maybe something to check out, Scorpio. But I'm on this meditation app, Insight Timer, and I started a group on there called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. It is just a group to post positive affirmations, encouraging messages, things along those lines. And as the group grows, I'm definitely going to start posting different guided meditations and ambient music, binaural beats, things along those lines. Do like one like Void of Course with the High Priestess, or you know, I still haven't figured out one for Justice. We gotta reconvene with that, but definitely check that out, Scorpio. And then lastly, look at you getting Cancer's ruler, the Moon. But if you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, come on over to my other channel, The Chariot and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans, geek out over the High Priestess. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get you surprise cards here so I can get you out of here. It's a little more Capricorn energy for the win there. You got the Devil upright here, Scorpio. And that's interesting that you got Saturn, their ruler, the world, and then whatever this is, Scorpio, I feel like this is something that's been in the mix maybe for a while here. Whatever this inner growth or this maybe this power, this realization that's maybe coming to the forefront, it feels like it's been cooking up for a minute, and now maybe things are starting to come together, and it's like we're feeling these internal changes or something, and it's like trying to shift these, you know, to shift like different habits or something along those lines. It's like you're evolving in a sense. You're going through a metamorphosis, and there's a need to, I feel like with the Knight of Cups, you know, one of your cards being here, a need to connect with yourself on a deeper level, like again, like this is a very, gives me very intuitive energy here, right? Because you got the Witch heart in reverse here, and it's like, because I was like, I don't know if you can see here, but I was like pounding on my chest here, but it's like, it does feel like that are, it gives me a sense of that we've been sort of just kind of going maybe for a while with just like not necessarily a rhyme or reason, but it's just like sort of going with the energies, you know, just like not really. It's interesting, but I feel that there is a need to, I don't know, like there's get eyes on something deeper, Scorpio. Like I think I'm gonna leave that there, Scorpio. I hope that that made sense. That was in That was an interesting reading there. But you stay safe out there. All these, I don't know, Scorpio, with this, like, maybe these questions, or maybe these, like, this internal type of change here. And raise your vibration through the roof, you know? Because maybe this is something where this has been causing you a lot of heartache, maybe here as of late, even with just thinking with the switch heart, you know, and that can be tough sometimes. But it always improves, Scorpio. And I will get you on the next one. Later.